Generation X. In general terms, those born between 1965 and 1980. Latchkey kids. Independent. Existentialism. Modern philosophy focusing on personal experience, human ability, and responsibility in an otherwise meaningless universe. We're the cause. This is the effect. We're the Gen-Xistentialists. Welcome in, my friends, to the Gen-Xistentialist podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Bunny.
And we are here to tickle your eardrums and tantalize your minds from a Gen X perspective for about the next 20 minutes or so. Bunny, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Should we just go ahead and jump in and get Mega
that
Wheel rolling?
Spinning.
We are spinning Mega Wheel the Magnificent, over 1,400 questions. This show is completely randomized, extemporaneous, if you will. And our first topic for the day is there anything I can do to show my appreciation for your friendship that I do not already do? And seriously, that's the question. So, right. Bunny, is there anything I can do to show you my appreciation for our friendship that I don't already do?
Not really, no.
I mean, for me, aside
you even
from
picked up the tab for lunch.
I did. I did. You know, that would be the only thing you could do for me is, like, you know, throw some money my way. Other than that, we're good. So that probably goes down as the quickest topic ever.
Sure. Yeah.
In the Gen-Xistentialist podcast. We are spinning Mega Wheel again. Watch this be like a show of like 20 topics, and all of them are quick yes/no answers.
That's fine.
Okay. It's a D&D question. Do you want to do it?
Oh, geez. Here we go.
Let me lay it on you.
Here's our D&D moment.
Which old D&D treasure or magic item made the biggest impression on you as a player back in the day?
Wow.
Vorpal sword, right?
The Vorpal sword is a great weapon.
Yeah.
It's a great treasure. If I was going to go a little more far out, though, and something different, I would say the scintillating robe.
Okay, you're going to have to...
Scintillating robe is a robe that's like a coat of many colors type thing.
Okay.
Except it's sort of... the colors change in patterns and stuff on it. It's almost like a big LED board.
Okay.
With crazy pattern colors, and it causes people to become hypnotized.
Nice.
So it's a hypnotic suggestion type. It's a passive magic item. So
gotcha.
I never had one, but I hope to acquire one in the future before I croak. So
hint, hint, if our current DM is listening,
yeah,
a scintillating robe in one of the dungeons would be wonderful.
That would be a something to check off my list. I finally got a Vorpal sword. It took me until I was in my 40s to get a Vorpal sword, and then I cut the head off a big baddie like in the first time I used it, and then they tried to come up with ways to get it away from me after that, so I didn't get to keep it long, but
it was fun while you had it.
It was fun, and it derailed the game a little bit, which is great.
Yeah, which is always wonderful.
I do love the deck of many things, too.
See, that was going to be my answer.
Okay.
That was my answer right there, was the deck of many things.
Expound on the deck of many things.
Just because the wonders that you can pull from the deck and the horrors that you can pull from the deck. You've got to have a really strong will to pull a card.
You got to be made of sterner stuff, baby.
Yeah, you really do, because the deck of many things, I don't remember some of the horrible things that happened, but we had come upon a deck somehow.
That's how my character died in that last
Was
one.
it?
Was because, I pulled all these stupid things where I had to fight a stained glass creature, and then I had to fight some fucking ghost, and then death showed up and everything else, and we made it past all that, and then I pulled the dungeon card, and that trapped my soul.
Yeah,
and I died. But that was what I get for taking like 8 draws in a row.
Yeah, well, that was
I don't
the
give
thing.
A shit. That's like me playing Russian roulette with a 6-shooter and saying I'll just pull the trigger 8 times and see what happens. What a dumbass.
But it was great fun. I only pulled a couple times from it, and
you got good cards.
Yeah, all mine were fairly positive, so I was like, yeah, keep going. Something great's going to happen. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Oh, well.
But it was a fantastic thing within the game, because that's the thing about magic items like that. They vary, to me, and you'll probably disagree, they can add a lot, but they typically derail things.
Sure.
In a very fun way.
Yeah.
So that's the wonderful thing about that stuff.
So we return you to your regularly scheduled episode already in progress.
Spinning Mega Wheel the Magnificent, and our next topic is, come on, Meg. What? I cannot wait to hear your answer to this.
Oh, dear.
What is the strangest food combination you enjoy?
Off the top of my head, my favorite is to take scrambled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
You don't add milk or anything. You just put a little water, scramble them up, add an exceptional amount of pepper and a little bit of salt, and do them up wet. You don't cook them until they're like super done. You cook them up a little wet, and then you crumble up Hussman's barbecue chips. It has to be Hussman's. You crumble it up, and you mix it in with the egg. It's amazing. It's like you got your wet texture, you got your crunchy, hard texture in the middle there, and the seasoning is on point. You know how Hussman's is like completely drenched in seasoning.
Right.
So you mix that in with your eggs. It's amazing. So I will still do that to today if I ever end up with Hussman chips. It's one of the first things I do, but I never end up with Hussman's anymore.
I'm just sitting
This
over
episode
here.
is sponsored by Hussman's.
Hussman's Potato Chips.
Yeah.
If you are looking to sponsor a podcast, we are apparently the one you need.
I'll eat the shit out of them with scrambled eggs. So.
And I will too. If I have my choice of any potato chip, it's going to be Hussman's.
There you go. A Cincinnati favorite.
Are they still at? You can still get Hussman's.
I'm sure you could probably get it at some specialty
But
places.
I thought they sold out. I thought they shut down.
It's probably different. Everything's sold out.
Yeah.
By the time you're 50 kids, everything you loved from childhood will be sold out.
Is gone, or it has a different name.
Yeah. So what is your weird food combination?
Well, no, we need to go back to yours, really, because here's my thing. And I'm not a foodie. Okay. I've got the palate of like a fifth grader. But anybody that adds pepper to anything, I immediately call into question, like, why? I have never added pepper to anything in my life.
Really? Okay.
No, I don't get it. I don't like the smell of pepper. It makes me queasy. I can't stand pepper.
Huh.
So
Wow.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
Okay.
And adding, like you said, a lot of pepper to scrambled eggs just makes me go, oh. But then you add the Hussman's, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm back in. If you hadn't added the pepper, I don't know.
You want your scrambled eggs to have a slightly grayish tint because of the pepper.
So that much pepper.
Yeah.
Good Lord,
It's
man.
like if you do you eat cottage cheese?
No. Ugh.
Okay. If you do eat cottage cheese, I recommend a lot of pepper in your cottage cheese as well as a little salt. Pinch of salt, a ton of pepper.
Wow.
Will change the entire flavor palette of cottage cheese, which is nothing but a blank canvas for flavoring.
Stuff. Yeah.
I like the ashen taste of a lot of black pepper.
And see, that's the whole thing. Why would you want to make something taste like ash?
It's the same reason I only drink distilled water, because I like the taste of metal.
That is so bizarre.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's just two different people's palates.
Wow.
But I have to hear your combination because it may spark a new recipe for me. Or
no, mine's pretty simple. The thing that I do that everybody looks at me funny about is I love bratwurst.
Okay.
But with barbecue sauce.
All right. I can see that.
I mean, it's not really a big deal. And I can't think of anything else that I eat that doesn't make... Now, if Tracy were here, I'm sure she could pull like 5 to 10 things out that she goes, oh no, you do this and it's gross, or you do this and it's gross. But I can't really think of much else. Like, I like peanut butter just out of a jar, just like take a spoon and grab some peanut butter.
That's man dinner. You heard of
girl dinner.
That's
man dinner.
That's boy
just,
dinner.
Yeah, peanut butter. Just American cheese and mustard.
Sure.
No bread, just a piece of American cheese, some yellow mustard.
That's the best part of some of those Swiss Colony or whatever they were, the Hickory Farm style sampler things, because they came with different types of mustard.
Yeah.
You could just cut a piece of cheese, dip it in the mustard,
right,
have a bite to eat. It was good stuff.
Yeah, I can't really think of any other food combinations that I dig that anybody would find crazy. Now, of course, Tracy's going to hear this and she's going to like send me an email list of like 14 things. Like, on your next show, you need to bring this up because you missed a lot.
Now, my wife has mentioned in the past that she's had either, I can't remember if it was just bologna sandwiches with peanut butter, or if it is hot dogs with peanut butter. It was one or the other. Like, I cooked hot dog with peanut butter. She insists that it tastes really good. I haven't tried it.
I don't know.
I don't think she's tried my husband's concoction.
Now, see, I could...
So we need to have we should have like a weird picnic sometime where we make all the weird food combinations and then try them out.
Just pick either kitchen and we each like make something.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. See, I want to try your scrambled egg thing with the potato chips, just no pepper.
Sure, you can do that.
So yeah, that would be entertaining.
We should do it.
Okay. We will give Mega Wheel of Magnificent another spin. See what we can come up with. See, I mean, we just had lunch and I'm hungry again now. I want some scrambled eggs, for God's sake.
It's all my trailer trash recipes that I'm come up with.
How does one find a balance between empathy and personal boundaries?
I think to do that, you really have to know yourself, and you have to be prepared to be ideologically isolated. And you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Because the mob out there is going to try to drag you into their camp. Mm-hmm. There's either pathological altruism and empathy to the point of martyrdom, or there's the vice versa, which is we don't give a shit about anybody but our own, so fuck everybody else on the planet. I think either extreme is ludicrous. I think there is a balance, and I don't think you as a person, I'm speaking to you out there listening, if you have nothing to feel guilty for, if you've done nothing in your life that has actively hurt others, then you have nothing to worry about. Just stop with the whole, I have to martyr myself because of past sins. I have to martyr myself because my friends and family feel or vote one way and I feel the opposite. You know who you are. I mean, you were you before you realized it. Sounds dumb. I sound like a stoner when I say that. But I mean, you were always you, and you have your own principles and stuff. And it's okay to live by them. If you're not out hurting others, but you're standing by your principles, then you can make that decision easily. People have told me that I used to be a lot more empathetic than I am now. And that it's disappointing that I don't kind of fall in line with the way they feel. And to that I say, well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But this is the way I feel, and this is the way I am. And I know deep down that I'm not out actively waking up in the morning thinking about how I can hurt people, or how I can make people's lives harder than they already are. People are wonderful, amazing, complicated, messy things. And I don't have, God or whoever else didn't create me to have the strength to carry everybody's tears and everybody's hardships and everybody's hurt. I can't carry that, and I won't carry that. I refuse to carry that. But I'll take care of my people.
Yeah.
But I can't carry everybody else's heart and hardship and everything else.
Well, nobody can.
No, but a lot of people feel like they can. This is the thing. This is where empathy goes into a weird spiral where it's like they get worked up about every little bad thing that happens to every little person in every little group on the planet. And that, my friends, is either some sort of performative gesture that you're doing to get clicks, likes, hugs, feelings, oh, you're so cool, oh, you're one of us, or you have a mental problem where you are really soaking in all the stuff that you can't control in the world. There's a balance. It's easy to find, but you have to know yourself, and you have to be okay with facing who you really are.
Yeah.
And that means if it's different than even the people that are closest to you, you have to be okay with standing in that line.
Yeah. I like what you said earlier about empathetic to the point of martyrdom.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's where a lot of it comes in when you think about social media, like jumping on the bandwagon,
It's
thoughts and
performative.
prayers. Yeah. It really is. And I have empathy for the things for which I can feel empathetic about.
Mm-hmm.
I can sympathize over a lot of things because, I've had similar things happen, that kind of stuff. But my personal boundaries are, I think, very similar to yours. I can't carry everyone else's weight. If it's someone that I can help, I'll try to help. My feelings on a certain matter, if somebody else has gone through a tragedy, my feelings don't matter. It's the people that are going through the tragedy, they matter. What I say, whether I post something on their Facebook page or anything like that, ultimately, does it matter? Does anybody, when they've had a tragedy, really consider all the people that post thoughts and stuff? I'm sure it helps at the time, but after a few months, do you remember everybody that... No, because you're going through that thing at the time. It's yours personally. And depending on the closeness of the people, some may stick more than others. So I think you have to be careful with yourself, your personal boundaries. You only have so many fucks to give.
Yep.
And you have to maintain them for yourself and the people closest to you. Again, that's not saying don't help. If you can lend a hand, lend a hand. But if somebody across the country just had a terrible accident, what can you do? Probably nothing.
Something that I don't think people... This is my opinion. I'm not a doctor or a lawyer. This is just my opinion. People are a lot like trees. People are a lot more interconnected than they think through roots underground. This sounds dumb, but hear me out. You always talk about doing things locally instead of globally, and that's all good and fine until it becomes a political thing or a societal thing where people get all uppity online and think they're going to change the world, and I'm main character syndrome and I'm going to fix the world, by doing X, Y, and Z. Well, you're not. Here's the cold splash of water in your face. Here's James Cagney putting a piece of grapefruit in your face. Name that movie. You're not. But here's the thing. I mean, everybody, doesn't matter what their political leaning is or their religious leaning or their sexual leaning or whatever leaning it is, everyone is connected to those closest around them. That's your grove. And that is how you help the world.
Yeah.
Because that interconnectedness goes out like ripples from a pebble you throw in the water. The ripples get bigger and bigger and bigger. You helping the people closest to you and around you ends up helping
everyone.
People farther out. What is it? The rising tide lifts all boats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can only do your small part.
Yeah.
But your small part is that intrinsic, inherent part of the greater good.
That's not sexy enough for everybody out there. That's where you lose them, is that it's not, I'm not the main character. I'm not Luke Skywalker. I'm not the main hero in this. I'm not the one that's going to lift everybody up out of their horrible position. No, it's not very sexy because you aren't going to be recognized for doing that. But if that's the reason you're trying to do it anyway, you're on a poor path. Exactly. It's a performative gesture again. Right. But if you help your community, the people closest to you, your neighbors, your congregation, your friends, your close family, then that ripples out. You help your coworkers. They will in turn help other people. And you set examples, and they're quiet. Exactly. They're quiet examples. Exactly. That's where I was going to go next with it, is be the example that everyone can look at and follow. It's like what Mr. Rogers said. Mm-hmm. When a tragedy happens, look for the people who are helping. Yeah. Because there's always going to be people that are helping. Be one of those people when the tragedy happens. If you can help. Yeah. Otherwise, let things happen. Mm-hmm. And always watch for the people that are helping, because they're the ones doing their small part to make things better. You want to do a rapid fire to end the show? Why not?
Okay. All right. So we've got a list. I think we've got like 38 of them. So give me a number between 1 and 38.
33.
33. Here we are. We've got a list of rapid fire topics, folks, and we're going to go through these every once in a while. This is a strange one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The rapid fire that you have chosen is racing games.
Racing games.
Racing games.
I'm such a fan of racing games. Let's find out.
Well, and I got to be honest with you. I'm looking at the list right now. There are 10 either ors, and I think I've heard of like 5 of these total.
Oh, well. So I'll be honest with you. If I haven't heard of them, I will just say I'm not familiar with that.
I think that's going to be the answer on most of them.
Okay.
So, okay, so number 1, pole position or outrun?
Outrun.
Daytona, USA or Sega Rally?
Sega Rally.
Cruisin' USA or San Francisco Rush?
Cruisin' USA.
Hang On or Super Hang On?
Super Hang On.
Radmobile or Virtua Racing?
Virtual Racing.
Spy Hunter or Road Blasters?
Spy Hunter.
Yes!
Every day of the week.
Absolutely.
Now, Road Blasters was pleasant, but Spy Hunter is just great.
Another level, yeah. Ivan Iron Man Stewart's Off-Road or Super Sprint?
I got to say the Ivan's Iron Man Off-Road. I have such good memories attached to that. It's a great game.
Hydro Thunder or Wave Race?
I hate them both.
Oh, Hard Driving or Stunt Race FX?
Unfamiliar.
F-Zero AX or Initial D?
I have no idea what those are. So.
Okay, so 1 through 8 you had a very definitive answer for, and then just in the last couple we didn't. So let's talk real quick about pole position or outrun. You chose pole position.
No, I chose outrun.
Outrun, okay.
Yeah, outrun superior because I'll tell you, it's one of those where you could choose your radio station.
Oh, okay.
And it was this kind of like driving, across country type game, whereas pole position, while I love the that bit, that's my favorite part of pole position. That's where it begins and ends. I think it's a completely subpar racing game.
Okay.
Hard to control.
Daytona USA or Sega Rally? You went with Rally, right?
Yeah.
Which I remember that game. That was good.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Cruisin' USA, San Francisco Rush? I don't remember either
Cruisin'
one.
USA is another one where you're driving cross country. It's kind of that Cannonball Run style game.
Hang On or Super Hang On? You went Super Hang On.
Super Hang On. It's just superior. And it's no fun unless you play the one where you actually get to sit on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like and actually tilt it. That's fun.
Radmobile or Virtual Racing? You went with
Virtual Racing.
Virtual Racing.
Yeah.
Spy Hunter and Road Blasters? It's Spy Hunter every day.
I've actually watched a video of Road Blasters this morning, ironically.
Nice.
Some guy I watch online was revisiting it on MAME Arcade, and I'd forgotten how pleasant the game is. It's a pleasant, violent racing game. But it's nothing. I mean, the Spy Hunter's got the music. It's got the machine guns. It's got the smoke screen. I mean, what more do you want? Yeah,
it's awesome. Ivan Iron Man Stewart's Off-Road beat Super Sprint for you. So
it did. Both of them are multiplayer racing games where you're racing around a small track.
Yeah.
Iron Man Stewart's they're like trucks, racing 4x4 trucks over dirt and stuff. So you're bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
And Andy and I used to play this at the arcade all the time together.
Yeah.
And just have a blast with it. It's ludicrous fun because you can fuck each other over and stuff. It's a good time.
And then Hydro Thunder or Wave Race?
I'm not a fan of racing boats.
Right.
Or jet skis and stuff like that. It just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that Mario Kart was not on that list anywhere.
Well, I mean, these are
pretty
older.
Old school.
Yeah, it was old school games.
Because I'll tell you, the Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which is one of the best games out there.
Yeah.
And the Mario Kart games are great.
Yeah.
I love them.
I used to play the hell out of the Simpsons game, man. That was great fun.
Would you like to do a rapid fire? I'd be glad to throw them at you if you like.
Let's see we could. We've got time for this one.
Well, why don't you pick a number out?
How about 4? Let's go with a low one at the beginning.
All right. We're going 4, and 4 is TV shows and movies. It's nice and open.
Okay.
So, Friends or Seinfeld?
Friends.
Simpsons or Family Guy?
Oh, damn. Family Guy.
X-Files or Twin Peaks?
X-Files.
Dodgeball or kickball?
On the back.
Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Oh, look at me. I'm blind and I can't see it. Saved by the Bell or 90210?
Saved by the Bell.
Okay. Married with Children or Roseanne?
Married with Children.
Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs?
Reservoir Dogs.
Beetlejuice or Lost Boys?
Beetlejuice.
Princess Bride or Labyrinth?
Princess Bride.
Aliens or Predator?
Aliens.
Full House or Step by Step?
Full House.
Can you imagine anybody picking Step by Step?
No, I can't.
Come
That
on.
would be horrifying.
That's stupid. So yeah, we had a few there that took you a little bit. What was your reservation about Reservoir Dogs versus Pulp Fiction?
Well, because I like both of them so much, and so in my mind, the machinations there were, which one do you want to watch again, like right now? And right now, I would rather watch Reservoir Dogs. I've seen Pulp Fiction a number of times. I've watched Reservoir Dogs more often.
Okay.
It's just more fun to me. If either one of those movies can be categorized as fun, I think Reservoir Dogs is actually more fun.
Yeah. Okay. How about The Simpsons versus Family Guy? I'm shocked at this one.
I was shocked too, but ultimately I think because Family Guy ends up being so much more topical, and because I can't get away from my love of Brian and Stewie as a comedic duo. Like anything Brian and Stewie, I'm in. I want to watch it. And I love The Simpsons. I mean, we're Gen X. We were there from the beginning, from the Tracy Ullman show. We know The Simpsons. And I have so many fun characters and great memories. And like anything that Ralph Wiggum says is immediately going to make me laugh. But yeah, I had to go Family Guy.
All right. I'm surprised.
Yeah. It's weird how these rapid fire things can like throw you curveballs and you're not quite sure why things ended up the way they did. But that's what we do here, folks. So thank you all for joining us on this episode of the Gen-Xistentialists. Until next time, my name is Scott.
And I'm Bunny.
And have yourselves a good one.